Welcome to our second edition of Teaching Tuesdays. Today we are going to continue our journey to understand emotional well-being and look in more detail at self-regulation. The development of self-regulation in early childhood is a critical aspect of child development, supported by neuroscience. Self-regulation involves the ability to regulate behavior, cognition, or the understanding and emotion to pursue goal-directed activities. This skill is essential for various outcomes, including academic and social emotional competence later in life. Understanding the neuroscience of self-regulation in early childhood involves exploring the brain's development and how it contributes to a child's ability to manage emotions, behaviors, and responses to everyday stress. The prefrontal cortex is crucial for self-regulation. This part of the brain continues to develop throughout early childhood into the teenage years. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for executive functions such as impulse control, emotional regulation, decision-making, and problem-solving skills. The limbic system plays an even more important role in emotional regulation, and its development during early childhood significantly influences a child's ability to manage and express emotions appropriately. The limbic system is a set of brain structures involved in the processing of emotions, especially fear and pleasure, the formation of memory and spatial navigation, and the relay station for sensory information. The developing brain in early childhood is highly sensitive to environmental factors, including quality of caregiving, exposure to stress, and the overall nurturing environment. Positive and supportive environments contribute to healthy brain development and the establishment of effective self-regulation skills. The brain integrates information from different sensory modalities. Activities that engage multiple senses, such as sensory play, can support the development of self-regulation. Understanding the neuroscience of self-regulation in early childhood underscores the importance of creating enriched, supportive, and responsive environments. Positive experiences and interactions during this critical period contribute to the formation of neural pathways that support emotional regulation and self-control. Early childhood educators and caregivers play a crucial role in fostering environments that optimize the developing brain for effective self-regulation. Where a child repeatedly experiences hostile responses from their primary caregivers, where they are not given the time, space, and words to label and talk through their feelings, they consequently communicate their feelings of fear, anxiety, embarrassment, and frustration in ways which do them more harm than good. This is where aggressive and defensive behavior manifests, because the child does not know how to operate from their upstairs rational brain and instead operates from their downstairs reactive brain. How can you promote self-regulation in the early years classroom? Tip number 1, breathing techniques. Teach children simple breathing exercises to help them regulate their emotions. For example, counting breaths or taking slow, deep breaths, smelling a flower, deep inhaling and blowing out the candles on an imaginary birthday cake. Deep breaths can activate the calming response in the brain. Tip number 2, teach the children simple calming techniques to limit the sensory input. An early years classroom can be a very loud and busy place. Teaching children simple techniques such as touching their ears, rubbing their ears, touching their chin, effective strategies to limit the sensory input. In Smart Moves, Carla Hannaford explains that water makes up 80% of our body weight at birth and 70% of an adult's body weight. Our bodily systems are electrical. Ultimately, it is the electrical transmissions within the nervous system that makes us sensing, learning, thinking, acting organisms. Teach children to drink water to self-regulate. Tip number 4, sensory regulation. Provide sensory-rich environments that cater to different sensory preferences. Sensory activities like Play-Doh, textured materials, or calming sensory corners can help children to self-regulate. Another tip to teach children self-regulation is physical exercise. Encourage regular physical activity to release excess energy and promote overall well-being. Exercise has been shown to have positive effects on mood and cognitive function. Tip number 6, creative activities. Provide opportunities for creative expression through art, music, and movement. These activities can serve as outlets for emotional expression and self-regulation. Tip number 7, recognize the emotion. Encourage children to identify and label their emotions. Use activities like drawing, facial expression cards, or storytelling to help them recognize and express how they feel. Happy Training Tuesday, educators! Let's make each Tuesday a celebration of our shared passion for early childhood education in South Africa. Get ready for a year of growth, inspiration, and collaboration with Early Childhood Teachers Training Institute.